Welcome in, everybody. It's another episode of the DNVR Rapids podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll, a.k.a. Merchel, and I am joined, as always, by my guy and yours. It's downtown, Duane Brown.
Good morning. It's an early morning Rapids show.
It is
two in a row.
Beautiful day in the Mile High City. We are in Studio A. We are without our guy and yours, Super Yaya.
For a very important reason.
He is currently incarcerated on embezzlement charges. Just kidding. It's his birthday.
Happy birthday, Yaya.
Tag Yaya on the internet with pictures of puppies and birthday cake and
the Mexican national soccer
NL
team.
tree. Yeah. All that stuff. Or if you could put that all into one thing.
Yeah. If you got Photoshop.
He deserves it. It's his birthday. I hope he is.
Get in Twitter
asleep
and
right now.
Say
or he's playing
happy birthday.
Or he's playing PlayStation 5. That's probably what's happening. So shout out to Yaya. Last night, I guess this is our losers lounge. We didn't do one last night. We're just calling this a regular show. This is not a
regular
lounge.
show.
No lounge.
Yeah, no lounge.
Loungeless.
Yeah. Who needs a
Don't
lounge?
put on your loungewear. Don't sit in your lounge chair. This is not a lounge.
It's a brunch.
It's a brunch show.
If you will.
We are going to talk about last night's loss to the evil, horrible, no good Seattle Sounders, who are currently second in the West after that win last night. We're going to talk changes to the system that we're seeing on the field, and maybe not necessarily specific tactics, but we're definitely going to talk about who has found some success in this coaching change on the field. Guys we think could maybe carry that over these last few games. And then we're also going to be talking about a little game we have. We have a game at the end. We have a draft.
We do.
And I think it is very befitting of the current feelings about this soccer club. It's for everybody.
It's for everybody.
We're going to help you guys get through it. Hello from Denver, Alonzo. Thank you for tuning in and watching. We really appreciate it. So last night, before we get into the game and all those topics I just had, the thing that you and I have done the last 2 times I've been there for it, and you do all the time because you're a saint of a supporter of this club, we stayed for the Rapids Unified game against Switchbacks, the I-25 Cup. It was a blast, as always. Rapids win in penalties. Lost the cup on aggregate. That's okay. Those kids are awesome, as you always say. You said these kids are the best, which is true. And I'm going to kind of just let you kick this off, what your feelings are from last night and sort of just how it is the ultimate palate cleanser for this soccer team.
Oh, hands down. Not even just for the Rapids season or after a loss, just life in general. If you want to feel good about humanity, go watch Rapids Unified.
Oh, it's so fun.
It is one of the best examples of sportsmanship, of just good vibes, and good soccer. There's some very good soccer, some sweet moves last night, some incredible saves by Rapids Unified goalkeeper. Oh my goodness. I don't know if there is a player of the match, but if there is, it should go to the goalkeeper for last night. 3 massive saves during the game, a big save during penalty kicks, great goals during the penalties as well. Back and forth game. Switchbacks came out, really kind of the offensive team at the beginning. Rapids were back playing defense, probably for the first quarter of the game. Again, kind of anchored with that great goalkeeping. And then, towards the end of the first half and then moving into the second half, we saw a lot more offensive play from Rapids Unified. Some really great chances, super close on both sides to get one in during regulation. But yeah, just fun, man. And it's not just fun to watch them, the two teams play, but it's fun to watch the players who are not on field yet, because they're, everybody's having a good time. Like, they're supporting each other. They're yelling into the field to encourage and support. They're dancing. It's just like, we were talking last night watching it, and I couldn't stop thinking, like, and I don't know if you'd get a card for it or not, but I was just thinking, how much fun would it be watching, not just Rapids, but any, first team in MLS have players who are just dancing on the sideline or dancing on the field and just getting the crowd pumped.
Any
so
mic'd up segment that I see, whether it's NFL, NBA, whatever, those little moments where they're having fun on the side like that is always my favorite part of this. I love it. Always.
Yeah, and with Unified, you don't need a mic.
No, it's the whole team.
You could just see it. Literally everybody is vibing.
But not just the whole team, right? The whole staff is out there, from the top of the front office all the way down to event staff, marketing. Everyone goes out and shows support and is helping on the sideline, supporting the team.
Lawless,
obviously
Diego.
The three that are always there is Cole, Lawless, and Diego.
Yep.
The biggest supporters of that team. And man, if you love Lawless, which how can you not, right? He's probably one of the most popular
a good
Rapids,
human being.
In terms of just seeing kits around the park and just talking about the team. Go watch him support this Rapids Unified team sometime, and you will love him even more. It is truly, truly a fun event for us to get to just hang out at and watch, and you could socialize. You see a lot of people from around the club and from around the supporters. You should definitely stay. I know, look, we sit in those sections, right? And it's maybe 4 sections, pretty sparsely attended. It's free soccer. You get to support kids that really need it. So you should, I think that was the last game of this season, but next year I would really love to challenge, the supporters, these people who are rightfully up in arms right now, but this is something you can do for free that shows how much you care about this club.
Yeah.
Right. And
for sure.
I would love to see more people show up for this after a game. I know it's a late Wednesday. I didn't get home until like midnight, so that's tough. But on any of these Saturday post games, anything like that, you should definitely come out.
I would love to see, and I'm not saying stadium, but just those 2-3 middle sections just packed out.
It would be fun,
man.
It would be fun.
I can't imagine
fun for the
kids. Energy. Yeah, it would be
fun for the kids. Okay, well, there was some soccer that happened last night. Let's get into that. First off, we just want to talk about the Rapids themselves. Experience Rapids games in the North Boundary at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Get your tickets at coloradorapids.com. That's where we were last night.
We were there last night.
North Boundary, DNVR crew hanging out. We had some of the Nuggets guys. We had some from Sales. We had Susie Hunter from the Rockies show, who we talk about in our Shady Rays ad read all the time because she loses her sunglasses. It was a whole team out. It was a really good time. Met a few of you guys. Saw some of Duane's 9-6 Originals shirts in the wild.
That was pretty cool.
How'd that feel?
Good. I was just Dustin and his wife.
Shout out
there,
Dustin.
And man, I don't know. I get mostly. I was just happy that they were happy with the shirt. Like she was super pumped, and that made me feel really good. So that was cool. We also saw Colorado's biggest celebrity, Rapid Man. At North Boundary.
D-Line's favorite mascot.
D-Line loves Rapid Man so much.
It's true.
Like, I come into the office and he just won't stop talking about him. It's weird.
Yeah.
But hey, I love that he supports Rapid Man so much. But it's a great time. It's like we've been in North Boundary twice now. It's not the best angle for watching soccer, but if you go to a bunch of games, or even if you don't, and you want to have like a different view and you've got a group of people and you want to be able to have some really cool like close up views of soccer because you're right at the goal, right on the field. But you also want to hang out. Man, it is a great hangout spot.
Look,
like it's
if you
North
have
Boundary is great.
Yeah, if you have like a office party or birthday meeting, whatever, post conference get together, whatever it is, you're in great seats to see the players and one attacking end. If you are into that sort of thing, and if you have people there that are just there for the socializing, it's very easy for them to do that too.
For sure. Like,
half the group was locked into the game and half the group was socializing, and it was perfect.
My wife does not like soccer. My wife does not like soccer. She would love North Boundary, like we could all get there with a group of friends, and I don't know.
It's the party deck at Coors Field with the best view, right? I mean, it's basically like sitting courtside at a Nuggets game.
For sure.
With a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So, hopefully that can get packed out. We did have a good time last night.
The vibes are good, Bray. Bray was asking, how are the vibes in North Boundary? Oh, you bring your own vibes. Like, that's what's cool about it. It's BYOV. Yeah, BYOV.
And it was a good time. I mean, anytime the DNVR crew is hanging together, we always really enjoy it. So it was fun to do.
If you got kids, the players come down, you can get high fives. Yeah. There's other players who, Jack Price, Drew, some of the guys that were watching the game. That not suited up. They're kind of up on the stairs. You can say hi, and
it was good seeing Pricey.
Cool. Yeah, it's cool.
Then the game happened. Vibes were not as easy to maintain during that first half. It was one of the worst halves the Rapids have had in a while. And Chris Little talked about it in the post game, and we can kind of get into what he was talking about there. And Cole too. Cole really let the team have it, I think, with this opening. It was uninspired, or is that too nice? I mean, it just wasn't good. There was no energy from the team.
Yeah,
it was the same lineup from last time, which got the win. Right. So you're like, oh, okay, this could be good. And
it was weird midweek Wednesday sleepy vibes. But
they just came out so just slow. I think 2 shots total, 1 blocked, 1 not on goal was that wild Sydney Tavares shot. I don't know, man. It was, I don't want to get into hyperbolic and say things that I can't totally see, because again, it was more of a social event for us last night with work and stuff, so I wasn't as locked in as normally. But just looking at stats alone, just looking through just hearing the guys talk, I did not sneak in. I had my media pass. I did not sneak into the press conference, but I did head up to the presser after hanging out for the game. And, their heads were down. Cole's at a loss, and I'm sure he's not the only one that is like that, but just brutal. I mean, if you're looking at shots on goal in the first half, Rapids just 0.05 XG, 2 total shots, none on goal. Where you look at Seattle, 0.76 XG, 6 shots, 1 big chance. It was a tale of one team looking to make a big move in the standings and one team riding out the season.
Yeah. And the last 10 minutes were pretty exciting.
Yeah.
The Rapids, you saw some urgency, some energy at the end.
But the difference was last game with Chris Little, that energy came in the 45th minute.
Yeah.
This one was like the 65th minute.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
Well, yeah, when you're down, yeah, for sure.
You're having, one of the worst offensive seasons this club has ever seen in terms of finding the back of the net, especially at home. How many 0-0 games have we had to sit through? And
do you think it's on? So we hear a lot with the Rapids from multiple coaches over the years that everything is about taking the elevation
Thank you.
I know that's your word. I don't want to use altitude with Mitch. You want to use elevation. Taking elevation too much into the plan. It just seems like the plan is to really push hard in the last 10 to 15 minutes. You know, kind of using, and I've heard this from multiple coaches through the years, but I would rather see it pushed from the beginning versus trying to use that as your like secret play at the end, because it feels like last night. No, I think it was a little too late. You know, it's like we ran out of time. I think that was
the plan the whole time. But the problem is, and shout out Wanners because he's the one that's been harping this for most of the season, is this team doesn't tackle.
Yeah,
it's tough to play on the counter if you can't turn the other team over.
Yeah, and when you're a transition
they
team,
average the fewest tackles per 90 of any team in the MLS. You know, Connor Ronan, who we are big fans of.
Sure.
Not the defensive menace you want to see in the back half of this team. And if you're not turning the ball over, you can't get on that break. And what good is it having Calvin Harris and Kevin Cabral, who are faster than most players you'll go up against? What good is it putting them out there and committing to this team if you don't have someone that can force turnovers in the midfield?
Yeah, I mean, when your strategy is to counter and really play hard and use transition, you know, to your advantage.
Yes.
Tackle has to be.
You have the defense.
Not just the anchor of that, but the pinpoint. And the lead of the charge has to be in the tackling.
Actually, since we had Wanners on, I don't remember when that was. I think you were on vacation. So that was July, June, something like that. We've been harping. This team needs a 6. This team needs a true 6. And whether that's Jack Price coming back next year, if he can recover from this Achilles, which he is he's cleared that hurdle of being able to run and do cardio and kick a ball around at practice. Lightly, very, very lightly, but
I'll take it.
If he can come back and they can work out, you know, whether that's picking up the option, whether that's declining the option and re-signing, if they can figure that out, maybe that is the 6 that turns it around, because when he plays, the Rapids are a playoff team in terms of points per game. So, but clearly last night, and it took Priso coming in at halftime. Sydney was sick, had some illness that at the time Little didn't have enough information on to really share with us in the presser, but he came off. Priso came in, and we'll get into Priso in the second segment, but I think that did help a little bit. And I don't know if it's necessarily because he is a great tackler, but he is more of a physical presence.
Yeah,
and kind of fills out that back line a little bit, or the back half. And so, you know, you were able to see them move a little bit, and you saw Cole's energy pick up. And you know, once Ronan subbed off, you saw Cole taking set pieces, and you saw, you know, you really saw, and this can get into Logan's comment here, but it's shout out Logan and Kevin and Bray and Alonzo, everybody in there. It's you've seen Cole be very frustrated, right? Like, especially
for sure
post Leagues Cup, some of these games, I don't know if I've ever seen Cole like that, right? Like, he was very pointed in his post-game assessments in the pressers. He was very straightforward. And you know, and I do think he puts a lot of it on himself in terms of filling the Price void, filling the Acosta void, filling the Rubio void, of just being the guy on the field that sets the tone, right? You have Maxu, who's pretty quiet out there, although has been a captain, right? But he doesn't carry the same everybody get to your effing spots right the F now that a Pricey does or a Rubio does. And, you know, Cole called that out. You know, he's like, it was a very quiet half was the word he used. And he meant in terms of communicating and having the team talk to each other and make sure the line is set. Make sure you're filling the right areas of the field when you need to.
I think we're seeing Cole is transitioning into the player that we talked about him being at the very beginning of the season.
Yes.
You know, he came back and we were like, that media day. I still remember media day talking to Cole. And all of us talked about, like, man, Cole is different. He's not the kid who came up through the academy anymore. Like, he's a grown ass man now.
Correct.
And we've been waiting to see that transition, and we haven't seen it a ton this season. But over the last month or so, Cole has become that leader that you were talking about just now on the field, but I also think that Cole is he's the Rapid that the supporters need right now.
Totally.
Because in post game several times now, like you mentioned to it, spoke to it about after Leagues Cup, he's very upfront. He shows his emotions, his frustration, his disappointment with the things that are happening, but he's also very accountable.
Very.
And like that is such a sign of leadership, even if everything on the pitch isn't his fault, which obviously it's not. He's talking about in one of his quotes last night, nobody was taking control in the first half. I'm to blame for that. Like he will take that on his shoulders. He will put that out into Rapids land for the supporters to hear. And I think supporters and fans can hear someone who is hurting like they are.
Oh, yeah.
But is also being very upfront about taking accountability for that. And you hear calls for that accountability from C38 and from non-C38 supporters and from fans. And Cole is now like he's stepping up, out of the shadows and being this guy who's taking that on himself and giving supporters the I don't know what the word is, but that insight that the players are feeling it, man, and like they're frustrated too. And it's nice to hear, so
Totally.
I can't say enough good things about seeing Cole step up. Super happy about 2 goals in 2 games too. But even bigger than that, as we look towards the future, Cole's becoming the leader that we knew he was going to be. And that's pretty awesome. That's a good sign for this club.
It is. No, you're right. And you nailed it. And I think that's a good point to wrap it and kind of talk about our next segment, where one, it makes it clear that the shopping list is vocal leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You need to bring in vocal leaders. I think there's a lot of physical talent on this team. You need those guys that set, say Rubio and Price aren't back. Well, guess what? You can't just not have those roles filled, right?
Yep.
So that is the shopping list. It's very apparent. And we'll get more into Cole and some of the other guys that we've seen over the last couple of games that we've liked what we've seen. So we'll jump into that in the second segment. But first, we got to talk about the Colorado Rapids. What's coming up next Saturday is Noche Latina at the park.
Super fun.
One of the theme nights that always has some fun side activities, has some I don't know. It's just a good one. It's an easy one.
Yep. It's going to be great. So I'm curious to see if there's, what they do for it this year. Last year they did a poster.
I can tell you.
Oh, you got it already?
I have a whole ad read right here.
Oh, drop it. Drop it. I didn't know it was in the ad read. I didn't know it was in the ad read.
Well, that's how natural we are with it, baby. Join the Colorado Rapids for Noche Latina on Saturday, September 30th at 7:30 p.m. as they take on Austin FC and celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. Get to the stadium early for food trucks, music,
boom,
and a special Calavera skull exhibit and live painting during the game.
Ooh, that's cool.
I like when they do live paintings at concerts. I've never seen it at a sporting event, but I bet you that's pretty tight.
I dig that.
Yeah, I'm into that big time.
That's going to be awesome.
Our podcast listeners, you guys listening right now or watching on YouTube, you get $5 off tickets for this game and all other remaining Colorado Rapids home games this season. Head over to coloradorapids.com/DNVR to learn more and buy your tickets today. It's also, that's North Boundary. I know it's for sure $5 off North Boundary tickets, but I think it's off any tickets you buy through us.
I may have messed up that graphic.
That's okay.
$5 off.
Hey,
coloradorapids.com/DNVR.
Just like Cole Bassett, you were taking responsibility. Good job. I'm proud of you. That's growth as a leader.
All I've ever wanted to be was the Cole Bassett of graphic design.
Look, and you're doing it. You're doing it. You're a homegrown kid who's really pulling it off. I'm proud of you. Yeah, like I said, coloradorapids.com/DNVR. You get $5 off tickets. Also brought to you by, oh man, who else? Who else could it be besides Illegal Pete's?
Pete's.
We are very high on illegal Pete's right now.
It's true.
It's true. Because we are brought to you by the Illegal Pete's Queso Pen. Available in select Denver area dispensaries from September 20th through October 31st. Illegal Pete's and O-Pen brought to you a, dare I say, perfect marijuana consumption device. Or close to.
I don't know, but I saw some DNVR.
Look, there was sampling involved
that were sampling, and I've heard nothing but very good things.
Illegal Pete's and O-Pen are both old school Denver brands. They've been connected for over 10 years. They finally got the opportunity to officially partner on this killer cartridge. The original plan was to create an infused queso edible. There's still some science to figure out on the recipe, so this was the next best option. Hopefully an infused queso is still in the works. Pairs well with the real Illegal Pete's queso. That's true. We all went to Pete's before the game.
We went to Pete's.
There was queso had by all. Great time. Customers who purchase one of the cartridges can bring the box into any Illegal Pete's location to redeem for free small chips and queso.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know
So
that.
go buy the pen. Consume the pen
and then you
responsibly.
get chips, and then you get chips and
after
queso.
your drive to Illegal Pete's. Then consume it. And then get some queso, baby.
For free.
For
With chips.
free. Doesn't get
good-
better.
That's pretty cool.
Queso on queso on queso on queso. We support Illegal Pete's. Shout out to the homies over there. Thank you. 28 years in business and going strong.
Good food. In addition to the queso.
Correct.
Dinner was great.
Dinner
Are we
was
ready?
great. I'm ready.
You know what you're ready for?
I'm ready. I remember.
We're ready for
I remember.
Mitch's Pete's tip of the week.
That's right. Look, here's a little trick. Sorry, Illegal Pete's line workers, if I'm creating any extra work for you with this one. Look, this is not an ad read for Taco Bell, but I think we've all been Taco Bell men at one point or another.
This came out at Illegal Pete's yesterday while we were having dinner. Yeah.
Look, the quesadilla at Taco Bell has the sauce in it, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. But if you get a chicken quesadilla at Illegal Pete's, and you haven't put a little of their spicy ranch, just a little, not a bunch. We're not trying to drown it, right? But just a little, little how you doing on there.
Yeah.
That's what it ends up tasting like. But it's the good version because Illegal Pete's is all high quality.
Yeah.
Good ingredients.
Not Taco Bell.
And it's not Taco Bell. So you can get the deluxe version of a drunken late night favorite just by doing that.
This might be one of my favorite tips of the year. Like the
super producer Alyssa's headed to Pete's right now, actually. So the show's over. No, just kidding.
That's a tip that like pretty much everybody can relate to. Like,
God, it's good.
And it's like, it feels like a secret. Like,
you're welcome.
You know the secrets now, folks.
Welcome. That's my pizza tip of the week. Let's get into the second segment.
Now that everybody's hungry.
It's Cole Bassett. That's who we're talking about. We kind of ended the last segment with his comments from the game and his performance in the game. Got his second goal in as many games, and I posed this question upstairs in the office earlier. Is this the best stretch from any Rapid this season?
Well, I mean, 2 goals in 2 games. Yes.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Can he keep it going?
I think so. Like, I mean, it might be a little tough in Portland. Like, their defense,
tough place to play.
Yeah, their midfield they lock it down, and now they've got former Rapid Brian Acosta, and we'll talk about that. But it's going to be hard to score in Portland. But if anybody on this squad right now is like, if they've got that dog, like Cole is the guy right now.
Yes,
like
correct.
It doesn't matter where the goal is coming from, if it's from a set piece header or it's just getting sneaky in there. Cole is on the ball right now, like literally and figuratively.
Well, yeah, when Ronan subs out, he's taking set pieces. Yeah. And he said, he was telling us the whole time up through the academy, I'm the set piece taker, right? Like he's comfortable on the ball. We saw him almost draw in Nashville on that free kick in Leagues Cup. He would have tied it.
That was such a great shot.
It was a beautiful shot. He's very comfortable standing over that ball, right? Obviously he's very confident in his work with Sharpie, and he's, it's something that he has continued to work on. It's not just, it's not literally only Ronan taking set pieces, although, he did specifically mention the physical differences between the two players, between himself and Ronan. He's like, Ronan's not necessarily getting up for any aerial challenges in the box, which is fair, which is why he's, over the ball more. But, as soon as you're within a few, maybe 10 yards from the box and in, I bet you're going to see Bassett standing over it going forward. And honestly, there was, I think we were as hard as anyone this season on Bassett.
Yeah, for sure. The first half of the season, it was hard to find Cole Bassett.
Yes.
He was on the pitch, but it was hard to find him.
It was one of those, he's playing.
Yeah. And that was starting to become the worry, because we were so high at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Like, again, after that media day, it was the first time we've got to hear from him live since he left for Europe. And, he came back, and just the maturity level was leaps and bounds, above where he was. Excuse me. And then once we got into play and seeing the season go, we weren't seeing that kind of integration of Cole into making things happen, and all of the talk from Cole at the beginning of the season was, I am the man. Like, I mean, he would.
No, literally.
Literally, he was, I am the guy.
Maybe not literally, but.
Yeah, maybe not those words, but the message was clear. Like,
very clear.
I am the guy now.
Yes.
And so that's what we expected. And we didn't really see that for a lot of the beginning of the season into halfway through the season. And then, whatever happened during that time, and Logan in the chat is talking about, some of his progression off the field. That has really started to happen, is that has started to click, whether it's frustration based, or what, if it's coaching support, whatever it is, whatever that catalyst is, awesome. Like, I'm so glad it happened, because you can tell it's really, I'm not going to say flip a switch, because I think that was Cole from the beginning anyway. I think I think that it's opened the door,
Right.
It's become wide open, and now he's rushing into it.
Yeah, look, losing Price that early, right? Losing Rubio that early. It's a lot easier said than done to be like, hey, you're a leader now. Right? Because leadership is action, right? It's,
for sure.
Leadership is not just a label. It's a characteristic of the way you go about your day, the way you go about training, the way you interact with your teammates and coaches, and prepare outside of the facility. What are you doing, right? How's your diet? How, are you out partying? Are you, are you watching extra film? Are you getting in extra miles? All that stuff. And look, it's tough to just force that on somebody. And I think when those two went down, two very key guys, and your other now key guys are either guys that were unimpressive the year before, or new guys that aren't integrated yet. It's very tough to just jump in and be a leader and be the guy. That's not an easy thing to do. And especially for a guy who is not a vocal leader like Cole Bassett. And he's admitted it himself. He's like, look, me and Andreas need to be more vocal out there, because we are kind of the last leaders left standing on this club.
Yep.
But good for him for acknowledging it and growing. And that's where I think, and I saw maybe it was Logan or Dustin or someone was talking about growth, right? And that is really, truly what you've seen from Cole this year off of the pitch. Has it been his best season on the pitch? Absolutely not.
No.
Is this shift in how Chris Little's deploying him, where he's a little further back than normal, right? And able to play in behind some of these plays, Navarro and the speedy wingers. And then he kind of fills in a gap behind. Look, he said last night he prefers playing higher up. He wants to be more of an attacking 10. And look, his two best, this this is officially his best stretch of the season, and it's come kind of making him uncomfortable on the field, and being uncomfortable is what creates growth. And you can either embrace it or you can hide from it, and he has embraced it. And
for sure,
if you can find a true highlight to end this season, it could be, there was 8 games left when the firing happened, right? So if Cole Bassett has 5 goals in his last 8 games or something like that, I think you found the highlight of how to end this season in terms of the on-field product.
Yeah, it's a glimpse. You're getting flashes of Cole Bassett from before he left.
Cole Bassett, baby.
Yeah, so we're getting flashes of that, but now we're getting also flashes of, Cole Bassett, Rapids leader.
Yeah.
Which he didn't have earlier because he's a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up, and now he's not. He's a mature man soccer player now, and he's starting to take on that role, and that's exciting. Like, that's kind of the role I think we've all wanted to see.
Absolutely,
Cole Bassett take, being the Colorado kid, and now the Colorado man who's coming through and starting to lead the team. It's a good story.
Yeah, he's not the only person that we've kind of seen over these last couple games maybe perk up a little bit. I don't want to say, you won one, you lost one. So I don't want to say too much that it's anybody's playing out of their mind right now, but guys that maybe are benefiting from a change at the top, right? And in seeing Chris take over from Robin, the guy that comes to mind after Cole for me has been Ralph Prizo.
Yep.
Right. You saw Sydney come off in that first Chris Little game in about 35th, a little bit later minute there, and you saw Prizo come in, and then you saw Prizo come in for him at halftime now with an illness last night. And Prizo is a guy we're all very high on, right?
Yep.
On top of the GAM and the pick for Bombi, right? It was like, man, we really pwned Toronto in that trade, right? And it's been a rough season for Ralph on the ball and in defense, and kind of just there's a big jump from academy to second team to playing in the MLS. There's a big jump in speed, processing speed. And it just felt like he was maybe a little behind. Physically, he was probably a little behind where his brain was telling him to get to, right? Yep. It's just tough to align those things. And the last 2 games, rough start for him in this game. The first maybe 10 minutes or so of that second half, not his best. But I think he grew into it, and by the end of the game, I think he was a real contributor. And if you want to find a second highlight 10 this season, it's guys like Ralph, and I think there's a decent list. There's a few guys that are in that Ralph situation where it's like, is this worth another season of committing development to?
Yep.
Right? And can he force Porksmith and the rest of the front office to say, we have to invest another season in this guy? Because it's pretty easy to just move on.
Sure.
Right. And enforcing the hand of, hey, I am worth the time, effort, money, planning, all those things that go into it to make a guy a successful piece of your club. And he needs to force that right now.
Yeah. And, we've talked about this earlier in the season as well, but I do think that there is a development gap that has happened, getting to the first team, getting first team minutes. There just hasn't been a lot of development that we expected to see with some of these players that we brought in last year and this year. We can all talk about Kevin Cabral, but Prizo is one of those guys, he came in, and both Robin and Porik have known him for a long time, and had very high things to say about him. He didn't get a lot of minutes, last year, which was weird because we were like, we just made this trade. He didn't get to play very much.
It's tough being a 6 behind Jack Price.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, Jack was out a lot, but you had Acosta. Yeah. And it's, so now he's starting to get these minutes, and I feel like this season with Prizo has been very high peaks and very low valleys.
Yeah.
It's been a very, very up and down roller coaster for him. And I think we see flashes of greatness. We see a lot of flashes of, grittiness, physical play, a dude who's really got that dog that's going to go and fight for his, teammates on the field. And we've seen some bad games, certainly seen some bad games and bad plays as well. I think having that development, and maybe hopefully that's what we get with the new coaching, staff coming in, will level out those peaks and valleys into something a little more stable, not so much up and down, but something consistent and frequent. And then I think you've got a real strong midfielder there.
I mean, physically, it's clear he can hang. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
He's big, he's strong, he's quick, but it's that reaction speed. It is, not tripping over himself sometimes or over the ball. Just cleaning up those little mistakes, and that raises the floor dramatically with someone as athletic as he is, right? And someone who clearly has the physical talent to get there. So, anyone else that sticks out over these last couple games? Anyone else you want to talk about? Navarro still, I brought him up to Little last night, and Chris Little did not pull any punches. He's like, he's not getting any service. Like, it's really tough for a true 9 to make an impact when he's not getting service. That being said, he's running well off the ball. He had the assist last game. It does seem like he's settling in and making his presence felt and pulling. His gravity is working, and that's one of the biggest things for any successful striker.
Yeah. And that's why you're seeing the goals. We're getting goals now.
Correct.
And that's because of his gravity that he brings. Yeah. We don't see a lot of goals this year.
3 goals in 2 games.
So 3 goals in 2 games for the 2023 Rapids is a lot of goals.
No, it's fun.
It's fun to watch, fun to cheer for goals. And a lot of that is because of that's the key thing that you just said, is because of that gravity field.
Yeah.
That Navarro brings. So that's his biggest thing. We got to find somebody who can get the ball to him. And that was all of our worry,
right?
When we got him.
One of the guys, Calvin Harris, is 2 starts, great game Saturday, tougher game last night, kind of invisible last night, really.
Yep.
He's another guy. He's on the Prizo list of needs to have a consistent stretch.
Yep.
Right. So, he's on the list. That goal he had Saturday was just,
that little heel kick.
Come on.
Holy smokes.
It was, that's what you're looking
So
for
good.
with that guy. The speed was clear. And we could throw Cabral on that list. He's probably been paid too much and been through too many high level academies and trainings and first teams to really be on that prove it list. But it would be nice to see him get on the score sheet here in the next game or two. Because like our guy, Tommy Scoops, I don't think either one of us have sold our Cabral stock yet.
No, I still.
But the island is getting desolate.
The water is rising.
Yeah. So, we'll keep an eye on these guys and anyone else that sort of takes advantage of a rocky situation, because, for the players, it's not the end of their situation, right? Like, the season isn't over. And some guys can save their job, save a starting spots, earn a starting spot, stuff like that. So we'll be paying attention there. We're going to quickly jump into just a quick little preview of the game this Saturday in Portland. But first, we are going to talk about our friends from Broken T Golf Course. We love Broken T, the vibiest golf course on the planet. Don't fact check that. Look, we're a vibes company, right? Like, when I talk about the locker, I don't say we're a t-shirt company. I say we're a vibes company, right? When we talk about the network, we're not a podcast network. We're a vibes company, right? We 100%. Try to curate vibes. We try to.
We are BYOV.
We are the digital footprint of BYOV. And we're trying to be a safe harbor for vibes.
Yeah.
In a sometimes rocky sports scene. Broken T is that, but a golf course, right? They are a true spiritual partner to us in the vibes department. They have an award-winning practice facility. They have an 18-hole championship course, and then a 9-hole challenging par 3 that you can play. Stacked pro shop, wall-to-wall drip, as the kids call it. Great restaurant, for the turn. Glizzy's at the turn. A time-honored tradition. Experienced teaching professionals. If you got to get a lesson, hey, sometimes you got to get lessons. Golf's hard. Golf's really hard. Have you ever? You're not a golfer.
No, I've hit golf balls.
Obviously,
before,
you're not a golfer.
I'm not a golfer.
But if you wanted to be, the teachers at
where I
Meta
would
Golf
go.
down at Broken Tee can help you out.
Yeah.
They are having a charity tournament tomorrow. Prizes support Bridge House and Tri-Cities Homeless Action Team's effort to open a navigation center that will provide a facility for community members struggling with homelessness to receive temporary shelter, connect with services, and create a pathway out of homelessness for good. Go to BrokenTeeGolf.com to make tee times and get the latest updates. Use code DNVR10 for 10% off any round on their regulation course. And we are also brought to you by, I can't believe I even had to look at the rundown. How could I forget? We are brought to you by Shady Effing Rays. As always.
Shady. What more could we say about Shady Rays?
These guys have been there for us since day one. Well, not actually, but since I can't even. Were we doing this ad read last year? Yeah,
now.
I mean,
yeah.
Look, I always pulls out his Shady Rays. I can't because I have to still read the ad read. But look, they're awesome. Everyone in this company is rocking their Shady Rays all the time. Yep. I wish we had the deal with Deion Sanders for sunglasses because
he should have made the deal with Shady Rays.
He fucked up. Effed up. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear during ad reads. That's my bad. Sorry. Look, take on the sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that is just as good as any expensive pair we've worn. Durable frames, extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures, and that's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. Together with their customers, Shady Rays is providing much needed support to nonprofit partners across the U.S. through Shady Rays Impact. Can I just say?
You can.
Shady Rays doing their Shady Rays Impact. Broken Tee, charity golf to assist members of our community that are experiencing houselessness. Illegal Pete's doing their Youth on Record fundraisers. Rapids doing their mental health campaigns this season. The guys that we partner with for these spots, it's not just business for them. They are truly reaching out into the community. And I think that is so tight.
It's awesome.
It fits with what we want to do, what we as DNVR want to do, and us on the show. And I just think it's awesome. So they are building play sets for pediatric cancer patients. That's very nice of them. That's
wonderful. It's awesome.
They are providing young adults with MS the outdoor adventure of a lifetime. They are making an impact in your community and others like it now for years to come. You can shop the entire collection at their brand new location in Park Meadows Mall. A full-stop shop for all things Shady Rays. If you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange them for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. Exclusively for our listeners, just me and Duane's listeners, no one else's listeners. No one else. Sorry, DNVR Broncos. Just kidding. You're in it too.
Or maybe all DNVR.
Look, you're all in. Shady Rays is giving out the best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com. Use code DNVR. 50% off 2+ pairs polarized sunglasses. That is a deal, baby.
Smoking deal.
Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. All right. Real quick. Let's get in predictions, things you're watching for, why you hate Portland. Duane, go.
Just kind of get into it.
However you want to go, because we're going to play a game to bring up the vibes.
Okay. So last night, Portland won. They beat San Jose 2-1. Things to be concerned about. That is their third win in a row. Portland is on a bit of a tear. They've jumped from being a bottom of the leaguer to now in 8th place. As we know, with the new spots and the new for the playoffs, and especially in the West, like there are a lot of teams right now fighting for those last spots. So I think this is going to be a Portland team that is going to come out very, very hungry. And they're going to come out swinging. Again, they're coming off 3 wins in a row.
I would bet a paycheck that Acosta's getting a yellow in this one for sure.
And as I was about to bring up, that's right, former Rapid Brian Acosta now is a Portland Timber.
It bums me out, dude.
A collector of yellow cards. Will we be on yellow card watch from Brian Acosta? Will he he earn one versus his former club?
If I had a dime, you can tell the second he's on the field if it's yellow night. Yes, the answer is yes. There is no way he escapes this match without a yellow, assuming he plays, gets enough minutes. But yeah, it looks like the chat is in full agreement. Speaking of the chat, we got 10 watching right now. Not enough likes to match that number. Go ahead. If you're watching, throw us a thumbs up, please, and thank you.
Yeah, survey says yes.
Duane, why do you hate Portland?
Why do I hate what?
Portland.
Oh, man.
Count me the ways.
I mean, it's rainy.
Ugh.
It's dreary. It's there's trees getting in your way all the time. I mean, the trees are in your way so much that they had to name themselves after a solution for that. What a weird way to name a soccer club.
Hate it. Hate it.
Man, a lot of green.
Ugh. Terrible color.
Oh man, Portland. It's weird.
Dumb hip coffee shops and bookstores and
it's not even
flannel and ugh.
I don't even know if it's a port. I mean, it's on a river.
It's on a big river.
Yeah.
Big river.
I don't know if it's the land of ports. So there may be some lying in there with the name.
They're a bunch of liars. Go drink your $12 cappuccinos.
Yeah.
Twist your stupid hipster mustache up with grease.
Boo.
And I hope you have a miserable Saturday.
Boo.
From your friends at DNVR Rapids.
Boo.
Look, am I expecting much in this game? You would hope that after that nice little new coach bump they had in their win Saturday to fall flat. And I mean flat.
Yeah.
To fall flat like that and to have guys like Cole kind of very intentionally light a fire, or hopefully light a fire. You want to see them come out and be competitive in this game. And I do think both of these games, despite the poor play in the first half and the first hour last night, have ultimately been competitive matches, right? And whether that's Illich on the back end playing, Fatmob doesn't love his game last night, but I do think overall I've been impressed with him. And it takes a big keeper performance on the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
Holding my breath, probably not for a win, right? But can there be those moments like those last 10 minutes last night where it's like, let's assault that final third. Let's get everyone up we can. Let's get some size out there. Let's get some speed out there. Let's get Diego Rubio in a dangerous position. Man, you know what would be nice to see Navarro get his account opened against a team like Portland, right?
Would be great.
Like, man, that would feel good, right? Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it just be? That's a team. And look, you have a longer history of hating Rapids opponents than myself. But it feels like one of the teams to hate that would be fun to get a goal against like that, right?
I mean, Portland's always good. They're always in contention.
Hate it.
It's a Denver, what, D-Line and I talk about, like kind of the triumvirate of cities, that are all in that same vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Portland and Denver seem like they would be good buddies. So it's like, there's that rivalry there.
Jim, welcome to the chat, my guy. Thank you.
So, I mean, but then again, I mean, Portland's most famous product is a TV show that makes fun of how ridiculous and silly Portland is.
That's right.
So, I mean, they make fun of themselves because it's true. So, yeah, it's going to be
Shout
tough.
out Ricardo,
I
man.
think this game.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't see that.
It's a long one. He's just saying they can get a win. And look, they can't.
This game is going to look. This is what I think this game is going to be. I think the opening 15 minutes and the closing 15 minutes are going to be where this game happens.
Yep.
Whoever can set the pace right out of the gate is going to run this game for the most part. Portland has been doing that in the past 3 games. They're coming out very aggressive. Can the Rapids take that away from them? Do they get some good tackles and make them pay for that aggressiveness in the transition? We will see. But that first 15 minutes is going to set the stage for probably not a lot happening in the middle of the game, I think. And then it's going to be a run for the finish.
Yep.
Last night, Portland kind of like took their foot off the gas because they were up by 2 and they paid the price for that.
Yeah.
You do. I mean, I know that we don't score a lot of goals, but you look at the last 2 games. At the end of the game, if you take your foot off the pedal, there is a good chance the Rapids will make you pay for that.
Correct. Quick prediction.
I'm gonna say 2-1 Portland.
I was gonna say 1-1 draw, but
that's fair too.
Either one of those is close enough where the variance could possibly swing the Rapids way. So
the most worrisome thing is that Portland is in that playoff spot, and they're going to be,
of course, they're going to be as locked in as Seattle was last night, right?
For sure.
So, all right, this is going to be the quickest draft in DNVR Rapids history as we do go on, and so we pushed into the draft. Look, it's been a long season. It's been emotional. It's been tough on supporters. So we decided last night we're going to do In Your Feelings music draft.
Yes.
This is bands or artists.
When you're down
that
in your
when
feels.
You are just, oof, when it is, you know what I mean? When the feeling is there, when it's been tough, when it's been a long week, month, season.
This is the music that's going to get you out of it.
This is the music that is going to get you there.
Or help you wallow in it.
Duane, I know you're on the right in this graphic, but I'm going to have you kick it off. You want to go snake style or just traditional 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2?
There's only 2 of us.
Perfect. You're up first. Go ahead.
First pick. First one, I'm not going sad feels.
Interesting.
But I might listen to this when I'm sad or angry. And that is Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, man.
When I am down in the feels and I'm just pissed, like, that's it. I can wallow in that, or I can rise from the ashes with that kind of just sauce from Rage Against the Machine.
That's a really good one.
So that's my first pick.
Oh, that's a really good one. That kind of bums me out. That was on my list for sure. So I am a youth of the mid 2000s.
Sure.
Right. And there's probably 20 bands I could put here that are all in the same vein.
Sure.
Of an angsty teen.
It was a great time.
Feelings. So I think the band that most represents this for me, and it might not be the best band of this, and you might have a different band, but I think the spirit of it is the same. I gotta go Taking Back Sunday.
Excellent choice.
Right? Just yell screaming alone in your room.
For sure.
To music cranked up to 11. Love those guys. Second pick to you, Duane.
My next one's going to be not in the angsty angry.
Okay.
But when I'm deep in the sads.
Okay. Oh,
this is one that I can listen to and wallow in that, and that's going to be legendary music for In Your Feels times.
Okay.
Radiohead.
Oh, I'm not a huge Radiohead guy, And I know that's a bad take.
More sad.
No, see, I know that's not a great pick or a great take in my head because I know Radiohead is good. There's just a few songs I like. The rest, it's just tough for me to get into. It's just too much.
It's mellowy. It's got a lot of sad in there, but the way they layer sounds,
talk show host is probably my favorite one.
You can get lost.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
Sadness.
You want to talk sadness though? You want to talk going through it? I want to talk
sadness.
You want to talk going through it?
Let's get through it.
I wonder if super producer Alyssa's with me on this one. She goes by one name. She's probably a footy fan. She's a real chav.
Cher.
No. It's Adele, baby.
Oh, excellent choice.
Come on.
That's not the female artist I had who I thought you were going to pick, but we'll keep going. We're not done yet.
Come on. Powerhouse vocals. Every song is about being sad. Usually at the fault of other people, which is generally why Rapids fans are sad.
Sure.
So it just makes too much sense. So there we go. Duane, you're up. Third pick.
Oh man, your 2010s have inspired me to think about when I'm at, and I haven't listened to this artist in a while, probably since the mid 2000s. But I think at the saddest and whiniest, true sad whiny, I'm gonna go with Dashboard Confessional.
Dang, I was gonna get that one late. I love Dashboard. Everything hands down one of my favorite songs of all time.
For sure.
God, that's a good pick, Duane. I'm so mad at you. You'll find me
screaming infidelities.
You'll find me at this show coming up.
Oh, I knew this was coming. I was going to leave it for you.
Next week, Postal Service. Come on.
Good. Man, we
District sleeps alone tonight.
We are early 2000s right now.
Look, I am who I am. I'm never going to apologize for it once, ever. Ever. But man, little teenage me blasting this album, the CD Warhol in my CD player. It was just nonstop. I thought I was very moody and deep for listening to Postal as much as I did. And I get to finally see them live for the first time ever next week. Duane,
I've seen them live twice. It's great. You're going to love it.
I'm excited.
Next one, I'm coming up because this band could be sad in the feels, but it could also be angry and wallow in anger or get through it via anger. And that is going to be Nirvana.
Oh,
just across the board, a short time span, but just absolute in the heart music.
I cannot give it up for Pacific Northwest this week. So I refuse. Terrible pick. Awful pick. I hope you lose the draft.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Wow.
It's a good pick. Although grunge is too depressing for me. And it's not depressing because it's sad.
I mean, this is
because I like sad music. I think it's just the whole, like, you know, rainy, heroin-fueled sadness of the Pacific Northwest just bums me out. Of that time period.
I mean, isn't the lead singer from...
Is he from
the Pacific Northwest? Or is he lived there for a long time?
We don't have to get into where people are from if it doesn't benefit my choices.
Here's Postal one. Service may not be the right choice for you.
We got to go quickly here. This is a pick. This will bring you up for sure. And I have no problem admitting my fanness for her.
I feel like I know where this is going. It's still not the one I thought you were going to choose.
I knew you were going to choose this. Swift, baby. Come on. Little Folklore.
Mitch Carroll, certified Swiftie.
Folklore, Evermore, either one. Sign me up if you're feeling it. Because damn, she feels it. You know, for someone as rich and successful as her, it really is amazing how sad she can be all the time to write this many albums of sad music. It's kind of crazy. But thank you for doing it. Thank you for being sad, Taylor Swift, because you get us through it. Duane, your final pick.
All right. I am going with the haymaker. I'm going to end with a haymaker of sad music. This is going to be before all of our time, but the music is timeless in its sad, down in your feels.
Go.
An absolute juxtaposition to their name.
Okay.
Joy Division.
Oh, that is a good one.
That is my closing argument for down in your feels music.
There is a lot of ways I can go here. I was thinking of some 80s sadness.
Sure.
I was thinking of some mid 2000s sadness. To answer Matthew's comment down there where he says Jimmy Eat World is the godfathers of emo. To me, that's Sunny Day Real Estate.
You know,
Sunny Day Real Estate walked so Jimmy Eat World could run. They are truly the ones that started it all, in my opinion.
Sure.
Not sad enough for me. And you know what? I'm not going sad here. I'm going with music.
It's your feels.
I'm going with music that you can start listening to it when you're sad, but there's no chance you finish listening to it sad because it just makes you happy. Period. End of. Probably my favorite artist of all time, Bob Marley and the Wailers.
That's a good get out of your feels. Yeah, if you don't want to wallow.
No matter what.
Sure.
It will put a smile on your face, pep in your step.
That'll get you out of the feels.
A little groove in your jig.
If you don't want to stay there,
you can just
that's
put Bob
a good
Marley.
choice.
You don't have to put in the Wailers if it doesn't fit. Everyone knows that it's about Bob there. So that's the draft. Hopefully, maybe I'll make a Spotify playlist of our.
Oof. I got extras on my list that didn't make it.
I have a ton. Just throw quick names out real fast. No context.
Somebody I thought you were going to choose Lana Del Rey.
Nope, not my vibe.
Morrissey.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any sad and whinier than that.
It's annoying.
I don't like Morrissey, but that is very sad.
I
have one album.
Okay.
This artist is not like sad.
Sure.
Really on most of his albums.
I said no context.
Oh, but you have to because it's one album. Sea Change by Beck.
Yep. That's a good one.
Is heartbreaking.
That's a good one. Ben Folds, if you're into that
Mode.
90s kind of indie-ish. Depeche Mode, obviously. The Cure.
Yep.
A lot of sad music out there. Whatever helps get you through it. I hope it helps.
A lot of options out there.
Hit
us up on Twitter with your deep in the feels. And while you're on Twitter, don't forget.
Oh, Logan, Tyler Childers. That is my absolute guy. Purgatory is my favorite album of all time. Okay.
That's a good one.
What were you saying there? Go ahead. We'll wrap it up.
Should we just plug it out?
Plug it out.
All right, let's just plug it out here. If you haven't hit the like button, hit that like button on the way out.
Please.
Wherever you listen, if you're not watching on YouTube, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever, give us a good review. If you haven't done so already, we sure appreciate it. It helps us continue to create this content. You can follow us on Twitter at DNVR_Rapids.
That's correct.
You can always find us from there individually.
That's correct.
Jump into Twitter and say happy birthday to Yaya. Oh, he's right here.
He's in the
Get on
studio!
camera.
Scream.
Happy birthday, Yaya. Look at this birthday guy. Birthday guy.
Look, get your diehard membership at thednvr.com. Help support the whole crew here, right? That's not just us on the pod. That's not just Alyssa on the ones and twos. That's the Rams and Buffs and Rockies and Broncos and Nuggets and Avs, and the whole crew here that's trying to just do our best to help fill your needs as a sports fan in Colorado and make your time better enjoying the teams that you follow. So get your diehard membership. That gets you a free shirt, gets you a discount in the locker, gets you a discount at the bar, all sorts of that stuff. Very important. So go ahead, sign up for that. And more important than all of that, the way we have ended every show ever actually is up those pits.